Um, I went into the military because I knew since I was knee-high to a duck that I wanted to be a fighter pilot. So the obvious way to be a fighter pilot is to go fly for the military, and I did that. So I attempted. First off, let me back up because everybody always asks. I go by the name Ace Rawlins. My name is Addison Clark Rawlins III, and in Texas we went by our initials. Mine had been AC. And as a kid growing up, it was easier for the kids to say Ace than AC, so that's how I got that number. And it stuck with me and it lasted, so that was okay. But I never shot anybody down, so I didn't earn the name. At any rate, I graduated from Rankin High School, Rankin, Texas, and like I say, I always wanted to be a fighter pilot, so I tried to, and I just heard about the Air Force Academy starting up in Colorado. So I applied for that and wasn't smart enough to get in the first year, so I went to Texas A&M for a year. And while I was down at Texas A&M, I was attempting to get an aeronautical engineering degree while I was there. So anyway, I tried again for the Air Force Academy, and this time I was selected, and that was wonderful because I was flunking out of A&M. So anyway, I went to the Air Force Academy then for 4 years, and I was able to graduate. I graduated. I wasn't the last man in the class, but as the last man was, as I got up to get my diploma, you could hear the swell of the audience as they were anticipating the goat coming across the stage. Anyway, I graduated, went on to pilot training in Del Rio, Texas, and there I began to do what I wanted to do, and so I ended up graduating #1 in my pilot training class in Del Rio. And at that point, I was trying to get into air superiority machines, and the only fighters, F-100 backseat of an F-4 and F-105s, and so make a long story short, I found out who the wing commander was out at George Air Force Base where they had F-104s, and I got a hold of the base operator there and asked her to give me his name and everything, and she did. And so I wrote him a letter and basically told him I was going to graduate from pilot training and I was going to be #1 in my class, and I wanted to fly F-104s, and they didn't have any 104s coming down by assignment. Well, he was a real nice guy, and he wrote me back and he said, "Ace, if you want to, fly fighters for me, well, you go to F-100s, and I'll pick you up out of there." So I did that. I selected an F-100, went to Luke Air Force Base to gunnery school. He then came down by name assignment on me, and what that did though was it opened up opportunity for several other guys that were going through F-100s at that time. They had quit taking lieutenants into the F-104 program for a couple of years, and so that opened up an opportunity for some other guys. Anyway, we went to George Air Force Base, checked out in the F-104, learned to fly that after flying the F-100 at Luke, and then we went to Southeast Asia. So as I understand it, what I'm doing here is I'm kind of summarizing my career, specifically that part associated with the Vietnam conflict, and so that's kind of where I'm headed. But at any rate, we got to George Air Force Base. Several lieutenants, a guy named Tommy Mahan was a buddy of mine. He was one of those that had helped to get selected too, and so we checked out in the F-104, and then we went to Southeast Asia, 435th TAC Fighter Squadron. We were assigned to Udorn Air Base, Ratchathani, Thailand, and that's where we spent the next would have been a year, supposed to be, it ended up being about 9 months because they authorized us to come home after 100 missions up north.